In the world of magic, there's one thing that I'm an expert in, and that is dong. Sponge dong, to be precise. Now, this right here is a prop that's existed for a long time in the world of magic. As a matter of fact, this one itself is pretty old, with a lot of pubic hairs, so it's extra realistic. And it's a fun little gag. You place a little thing in their hand and you tell them to imagine the thing they want the most in life. The one thing they crave, they desire the most. And when they open their hand, well, it's a dick. Now, you're not going to be performing this at a bris, you're not going to be performing this at your kid's show, but in a college bar, and in the right social context, something like this could be fun. Unfortunately, the serious minds at the Magicians Only group on Facebook have determined that to be incorrect. This post was made by Anthony Bruno saying, "It's finally here and it's bigger than mine. Can't wait to go play with my ding dong." Talking, of course, about his Al Goshman sponge dong. And of course, in the thread, we have some magicians talking about their experiences with the trick. But then we also have a lot of hate. Jonathan Cam says, "The right audience will love it. I work in a college bar. It's requested all the time." And Martin Lewis, of course, responds saying, "Just as I was beginning to respect you." Jonathan Cam, it doesn't matter where you work. There are standards to be upheld. Filth is filth. I do believe that you have to give an audience what they want, but this is an exception. You should never lower yourself to their low class level. Otherwise, you become one of them. Sleaze is sleaze. I just realized his name's Mark Lewis, not Martin Lewis. But nevertheless, he's asked about his opinion, and he says, "My thoughts are what you should remember what happened to Al Goshman, the manufacturer and possibly the inventor of that disgusting thing on two separate occasions. The first is that he lost a trade show over it, and the second is that one of his employees reported him to the authorities for forcing her to manufacture pornographic material." Michael Adams says, "The most pathetic trick. Who buys it?" Now, it's a sponge dick. It's a dick. It's a sponge. It's not going to be for everyone. However, the reason this is still a hot selling item is because of the reactions that this gets. You have to understand, not everybody lives in your perfectly sanitized world. Some people appreciate the good old-fashioned dick joke every once in a while, and there is a time and place for routine like this. It's unfortunate that magicians don't tend to see the value in things like this because they're looking at the prop. But alas, my friends, when you're selling a mattress, you're not selling a mattress for the mattress. You're selling the experience of sleep. You're selling a good night's sleep. And I've already ranted on sponge balls enough. I think that they're terrible. I think that there are many alternatives to use sponge balls. But if you're gonna use them, which you probably are because you're a magician and you have the right environment, why not incorporate this? Just have it in the back of your pocket, do your little sponge ball routine. God forbid I see you and I don't Goldberg spear you through the earth. But some people like it, it's your prerogative. And you find that somebody's giving you a hard time, or maybe the situation dictates where it's a little bit more of a raunchier audience. Maybe a girl says, "Whoa, look at these, I have a lot of balls in my hand, haha," and you go, "Huh, you think that's a lot?" And you put this in her hand and you go, "Well, I want you to think of something you really want," and then you do this. And it's a fun laugh because it's topical. But magicians tend to be the most sensitive, safe space individuals. So the thought, the mere imagination of a dick anywhere near their vicinity is just enough to throw them in a fever pitch. Some advice at the end of the video. Oh boy, I mentioned recently in a live stream, which you should be watching, that I've gotten into knife sharpening. Unfortunately, I've become a little bit of an EDC slut, picking up some various pocket knives. And one of the things is I've always wanted a really sharp knife. And the reason for that is because I recently picked up this knife from Temu.com, which is like, I don't know, $6. And I'm astonished as to how sharp this knife is. It's really sharp. I don't have to put any effort to cut. In this case, you could see, look at that. And I wanted to get my knives to that sharpness. So I looked around and I asked around, and this seems to be the best thing. This Work Sharp Field Sharpener. So I'm very happy with this. I've sharpened all my knives and they're as sharp as that knife. And it's also the metal that has a effect on it, but oh boy, do I highly recommend this. Now, obviously, I'm not going to spend a fortune on knives. I've seen the prices. Some Benchmade knives are like $300. My goodness, no thank you. That's not to say, by the way, if you don't have some laying around, I have a P.O. box. You can maybe send one over and I'll, I don't know, use them. But this right here is something that I highly recommend, and I've been playing around with it all week, and I've sharpened each and every single knife that I have in this household, including kitchen knives. And it's a winner chicken dinner.
I see you again, when 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 I see